Are you all ready for more AOE4? I don't know what this voice is and why we're doing it. Can we please stop? I think I just scared off half of the YouTube audience. It's Killjadi versus Crackmeister himself, the one and only Crackedy here on the Zhuge. Huffing the hopium hard because I guess he's sick of the Chinese and knows they're going to get nerfed, so he might as well get ahead of the curve here because we have got a battle of the trash can. Not because of the players, but because of the civs. Mongols in the hands of Killjadi, Crackedy with the Zhuge. Honestly, if there were any players to do this, right, these are the ones. I think most Mongol picks rewards have to go to, what, Killjadi and Voldemar at the moment. They're like two of very few people that actually willingly commit into them in ranked games. And on the other side of this, practically no one is picking Zhuge. You know, it's kind of funny now that I'm thinking about it. Like, have you guys noticed that Matisse hasn't really been that active recently? They nerf Zhuge and then Matisse disappears. I mean, I'm just going to leave it there. You can connect the dots as you choose. But it's kind of an interesting thing to think about. Glad to see Crackedy back, ready to experiment with the Civ. Zhuge in a really rough place at the moment, folks. Like, this is a Civ that was definitely overtuned from an economical standpoint. But after their economy got nerfed, the reality is that militarily, they're pretty pathetic for most of the game. You know, this is a Civ that in the late game doesn't have hand cannoneers. In the early game, they don't have archers. They're very railroaded and easily counterable. And this is an interesting matchup. Mongols versus Zhuge. On a map where trade can be really good, I'd have to favor Killjadi slightly. I think the Mongols can do a lot of damage here. And they have decent matchups. Keshiks plus archers to deal with Zhuge spears can work quite nicely. There is obviously a layer of micro there. But I don't think that's an area where Killjadi is weak. I think his micro is pretty damn good. And so's his aggro. Wouldn't expect it any other way. Opens with a Rax. Beautiful start location for the TC, by the way. Uvu in range of the TC and the Rax. So you kind of had options to begin with here. It looks like sheep haul-wise, we are looking at a pretty good start, at least for Crackedy. 12 sheep so far for the Zhuge. 10 for the Mongols. What do you do versus a Zhuge Nu all-in? You call him a dirty little scumbag and then resign because you can't be asked to deal with that, right? Because who's got time for that crap? So there's a few different ways you can do with Zhuge all-ins. If you can see it coming early on, you can actually somewhat counter it with Horseman Archers. But if it's getting too big, quite often the best solution is to get to Castle Age and get Mangonels. But Mangonels, and I noticed I didn't even want to say the word properly because I vomited a bit. Mangonels struggle if the Zhuge mix gets too big. You have to be very careful of that. If Zhuge Nu go up to, say, like 60, they will dive a Mango. That's always the ridiculous part about the Civ. But we won't let it get there. Outpost now being dropped. Spearman looking to idle up the gold. And apparently, Crackedy wants no part of this. He just wants his Song Dynasty, right? Doesn't really need to worry about being missing on the gold there, right? This is the beautiful thing about playing Zhuge, same with Chinese, is you can get gold other ways. However, those ways are going to be slow because this is not China. This is not an Imperial Academy. This is just one building generating taxation. So if he was planning to go very quickly into Song, he's in a bit of trouble. I imagine the real intent here is to drop the archery ranges, though, and go towards Zhuge Nu. Other side, this Killjadi is ready for his stack up. We should be seeing Silver Tree here, right? There is some point to D-Stone, but Silver Tree just makes a lot more sense, so you can scale into the Kekiks. Sorry, did I call them Kekiks? Slip of the tongue. They're definitely not an Omega lol in the heavy cav department. With gathering now coming through. You know, I always wonder with this Meditation Garden now being nerfed as it is it better value to go Jiangnan for an all-in? You do get a more aggressive time on Zhuge Nu, but I think that only makes sense in matchups where you're able to come out of the base. We're talking about a game where the reality is you're not going to rush out with the first Zhuge Nu because you're playing against Mongols who will open Keshiks. So you have to stay on the defense. So Meditation Garden makes a little bit more sense there. If you're looking for the most optimal route into Zhuge Nu spam, then yes, I would say actually Jiangnan is more beneficial there because your release time is much quicker, right? It's like the difference between taking up as the English with Abbey of Kings and building archery ranges versus building a council hall. Very big difference on when you release those units. So outpost in place. Gold and stone are both blocked out, but Crackedy at least has options there. He's going to have to sneak out for gold, though. A little bit risky on a map like this. Actually, the spawn is a little bit of a scam. What happened to his second gold? Okay, that's kind of a bit freakish. Usually you get a gold close on the front and then one at the back. But this feels like a game where you basically got one gold. It's a little bit weird. Surprised it spawned that loose. So really only option here is to just play wide flanks and gamble a little bit. Outpost is at least going to be there to protect though. Gujadi, meanwhile, is going straight into the archery range. So notice he doesn't go straight Keshiks. Your opponent is building spears. It wouldn't make sense here. Archery range is now coming. The fabled Chicken Nu are on the way. This is probably the one reason to pick Zhuge instead of Chinese. Because remember, they get the Chicken Nu a lot earlier. For a Chinese player, they have to spend 1,200 resources. That's just to get the dynasty to get Chicken Nu, right? And then they have to build the archery ranges. For Zhuge, they spend 510 resources. And then they can build archery ranges. So it's a huge difference there, right? Like we're talking almost 700 resources, so almost 10 extra Chicken Nu. Archers have arrived now. I don't know if that was a misclick. Anytime I see a Palace Guard in Feudal Age, I just assume it's a misclick at this point. Chicken Nu are now on the way though. Supervision is out as well, but it's always awkward when you have to do this as Zhuge. Like, you have to get the Imperial officials, but compared to China, you're sacrificing villager production, right? Because you don't have that Imperial Academy. Massing continues. I wonder, is this just the time to drop stables for Keshiks, though? If you're going to do it, you have to do it quite quickly. Otherwise, the Chicken Nu mess is going to get too big, and you won't be able to reach. Because, like, one Keshik will run in and just get peppered down. So, really important if he does want to make the cavalry commitment, he does it soon. Wait, hold on a sec. What makes you think that Zhuge are the perfect fit for Crackedy? They do not have a defensive feudal landmark. It doesn't fit him at all. He tried doing that poor man's Barbican. Do you guys remember where he dropped the Jiangnan town next to the enemy base? Drongo actually told him he thought he was brain damaged. Chicken Nu trading out though. Villagers in the front line. Archer's gonna get target down. Ooh, good time on that snipe, but is it gonna be enough? Outpost doesn't go up. Kiljadi. It's the outpost. What is with this guy today? Oh, he just can't do any right. Archers will eventually clear out the Chicken Nu, but it's come at a cost here. He's now 4 villagers behind. We'll eventually get the outpost up, immediately on fire. Good feeling there. Arislitz is at least now coming in. Kiljadi sitting on a lot of wood here, actually. Feels like he would benefit from a second archery range, or he needs to transition into the Keshiks. He has now got gold access, so this would be the time to do so. However, it could just be as easily put into the Silver Tree trade. Looks like he's about to get in position with that. Kiljadi, wow, such great unit of diversity. I mean, on it, like, you know, I love how Zhuge, it doesn't matter if you're a gold level player or you're a conch level player. You have the same level of unit diversity. You build an archery range, you click on it, and then you hold the R key. And you're playing Zhuge. Man, I throw shade at Zhuge in China all the time. Wait, is Kiljadi going for a second TC? There's a very big issue with his economy right now. This is getting a little bit ridiculous. This is 2 TC. What? Is it because the idled gold so you can't scale traders? Because like, if that's the worry, you have a backspawn gold against a Chicken Nu army. So no mobility, right? Yeah, this is a bit funky. Archers aren't going to go for a flank attack. That's a smart move right now. He's heavily outnumbered. And there we go. Okay, it was just a big miss macro. Double archery range added in. So 3 archery ranges of production. Blacksmith to assist as well. We did already get that dropped by the Zhuge here, but Crackedy has yet to queue up a single tech. Not a big fan of that. I think Steeled Arrow is just worth it already. So glad to see he's now going into it. Like, once you have 10 Chicken Nu, Steeled Arrow feels good enough. Hell, you could kind of argue probably even lower count, right? Like 175 resources, but you get +3 damage to each Chicken Nu. It's absurd just how much quicker you get value out of Steeled Arrow while scaling with Chicken Nu compared to any other form of archers. Outpost is going to be taken out. Are we really? I hate him so much. I hate him. The most vile of clown cars has arrived. Behold, the Chicken clown car. It's back. I knew there was one reason and one reason only he's picking a Civ. Gur is not going to get saved either, so that's just an expense. 100 wood down the drain. Pass guard. Whoa, hold up. Okay, this is actually a big deal because Kiljadi doesn't have much food. No, he's sitting on 7 sheep at home. So gets blocked out of the berries. Actually loses one of the villagers for it. The Chicken pressure keeps mounting. Count keeps going up. Honestly, I think Crackedy could just go underneath the TC and Chicken spam. Like, he could full-on clown car this right now. I don't know why he's not. There's showing respect and there's just not winning the game. And, like, your opponent doesn't have any form of good melee. They just have villagers, right? I feel like Kiljadi is still trying to raid on the other side with the archers, though. Somewhat keeping it competitive by doing so. Mass berry gathering on the north side, though. And that's going to be another go down the drain. So another 100 wood gone. Believe it or not, these are quite expensive. 100 wood each time. Sure, you've got plenty of wood to work with, but you need food and gold, right? So if you have to keep getting more wood to replace the lost gurs, it's just resetting you. This archer lead. It's getting kind of ridiculous. 23 Chicken 23 archers, but the spearman count. Big difference here. Crackedy. I don't like that we haven't clown carded. I'm just going to be real. Dragavan in there saying this is his strat. Yeah, if this is Dragavan right now, he would have built a siege tower and he'd be killing the eco line. Dragavan, who, by the way, is the master of clown carring, able to beat, I think it's Wham in under 15 minutes. Army is coming back now. Kiljadi suddenly finds himself in a very weird predicament. The enemy army is approaching from behind. I assume he knows it's in the area. He's just looking for free kills. Fights the outnumbers. Archers. I'm going to start diving in. Both of them do have the blacksmith upgrades. It just always feels bad. Like, you feel like you want to get on top of the Chicken so they can't run away, but they get weirdly reasonable trades even when outnumbered like this because you're in range. I don't know. This unit still just feels a bit bonkers. I think it's also just the fact it has a quicker attack speed, right? Oh, sorry, no, it's not quicker, but like it feels quicker because I think the reload starts from the moment it starts shooting, if I'm not mistaken. Also, the damage difference is absurd, right? You're talking about 6 damage versus 15 before you calculate for armor. Nice raid in, though. Big one there from Kiljadi. Gets the Imperial Official, kills a few villagers, makes his way out on the other side. And weirdly enough, all of a sudden, the army count doesn't look that threatening for Crackedy. Holy crap. Okay, I thought Kiljadi was going to be out of this in 15, but that attention he just drew may have recovered his game. And now Chicken trying to just spam into the outpost. I like this as well. Kiljadi, he's baiting with the archers to force the outpost to be ignored. Just gives him more kills, right? Looks like the outpost is eventually going to be denied, though. Does some damage, not enough. Spearmen come out into their death. But after all is said and done, look at the military count now. Right? 32 to 28. Kiljadi has to be feeling really good about his position right now. Considering how this looked about 2 minutes ago, this is a huge recovery. I should watch more Crackedy's games. He does a fast castle, looks pretty strong. I think a few players have been doing these fast castles as well. There's a lot of really good fast castle builds involving the Shallow Monks. Like, they're a very powerful tool. I actually have noticed a really impressive build that doesn't involve the monks, though. It's fast castle with the Mount Lu Academy, because then you drop a monastery and you supervise, because you can get the monks out really fast that way. Archers in the meantime. And back in. Jiangnan Tower now on the way. So we are now transitioning into the inevitable greed. So 2 TC. On the other side of this, Kiljadi is probably just going to have to go Castle Age. One big issue I see in this game for Kiljadi is because the Chicken have been patrolling, he never once began to initiate trade. Didn't think of that. I mean, I'm just here to provide the ideas. I like cooking. I'm trying to think if someone actually has specifically done that build, but it makes a lot of sense if you think about it. Like, if you're going to fast castle, the logic usually is like with the monks, you can just fight a unit you encounter, but it also heavily slows down your ability to surge because you can't supervise a landmark. And then also, from a raw resource standpoint, you will spend more on the monks than you will on the more on the Shalom monks rather than you will on standard monks. Top players saying Chiganu Spear Rams is bad? No, I don't think it's bad at all. High-level players make it work. Like, I legit believe Siege Towers will come out. We've been showing Dragovan how he uses them. They're actually really good. The counter-argument I got on why you will not Siege Tower is because it's only 10 garrison spots. But, like, 10 garrison spots. Okay. So, 10 garrison spots. That means 10 archers. That equals enough to kill a villager straight away. And if your argument's going to be, I'll get Undermesh. Yeah, but I'll get Steeled Arrow. Right? So you can still insta-kill villagers while moving around the base quicker. But textiles. Oh, yes. The 200 resource tech that also sacrifices a villager production. Oh, sorry, 150 resource tech that sacrifices a villager production. Something tells me spending 125 resources to build a siege tower makes that worth it. Archers. Great trade here. I actually think Crackedy made a mistake. This greed choice... He has gone free TC, but Killjoy should have a window of opportunity here. Free TC. Crackedy, we're not playing a 2v2 game here. Killjoy has to realize what's going on. He's got 56 archers here. They don't have stone walls, so you can't build siege towers. Of course, the one reason I want a siege tower. I too love getting on top of a wall I can't get off of. It's like that scene out of Little Britain. How'd you get up there? Oh, I fell. That's Archer's now moving in. He needs to be fast about this, though. The eco lead is already starting to inflate. Farm transition's cheap behind this, remember. This is, of course, the discount from Song Dynasty. So you may notice that these farms, granaries, are notably cheaper. Good old 30% off. Killjoy almost seems reluctant to go in. If you're not going to go in, you need to go Castle Age and upgrade these to vets. Then you should be able to win off the back of it. One big issue right now for Crackedy with this build, by the way, limited resources. He basically has access to food and wood. The gold can be blocked. In fact, that's what Killjoy is looking to do. Ram knocking on the outpost. More Rams coming. It must be Ramadan because Crackedy is about to get starved of resources here. Archers. Oh, the trees got chopped. And where is the army? Oh, no. No textiles either. Chuganu at least being ignored. That's the positive here, right? He's losing villagers, but his army is staying alive. That's important. Archers are going to shift away, but on the other side of this, Rams are now moving in. Crackedy. Be quite the crack if you can pull this off. Another big problem here, like this is actually scary. Mongols are subtly lethal when they get to scale archers like this because of the attack speed arrow. Think about this. He has almost 70 archers that he can buff with a 50% increased attack speed for the start of the fights. That's huge here. If he gets the fight, if he baits his opponent in position, he can just end the game. Crackedy, more archery rangers come behind. It's actually running out of wood at this stage. And the TCs, well, have they really proved to be worth it? I think free TC may have been a town center too far here. Oh my god. Actually not, oh my god. Screw you, you TC boomed and built Chiganu. I'm weirdly enough on the side of the Mongol here. Oh boy. Killjoy even bringing in around the left side to break through the walls. Villagers now being assaulted. Whoever decided that they wanted to call these things villages when you have villagers, I hate. As a commentator, and I think I speak on behalf of all commentators, go yourself. Archers. Easily going to be able to win this fight. I mean, he's just holding the arrow. If he just activates it now, it's all over. Dives on in. This is it. Crackedy's dead. Here we go. W, because it's the win key. Hit on the backside as well. I mean, this is over, surely. Archer Cat, wait. No. No, he's fine. If somehow... It's a lot of archers lost, but a lot of Zhuge died in return, right? And now villagers are being sniped again. Honestly, if he somehow wins this. Brahms, now into the second TC. That was a wasted effort, by the way. Killjoy screwed up there. He should have been hitting the TC the whole time. If this TC went down much earlier, a lot more archers are alive, but it doesn't matter now. He's through. He's broken in. Zhuge mass is rebooming, but the eco is suffering for it. In fact, if he pins the corner here, it's going to be a massacre. No textile still out of Crackedy. Archers moving in. Kashik's queued up behind this as well. The villager lead is about to disappear. Congratulations, your 3 TC build has now been downgraded to a 1 TC build. Archers will have to leave, but Keshik's have been queued up, and you see this, his Palace Guard is not spears. So actually, if he comes in with a handful of Keshiks here, this could turn into a massacre still. What a game. Zhuge are going to keep diving in. Killjoy, jump in and out of the ram. Come on. This is the awkward thing, right? Like, whenever you're in range like this, you feel like you're losing the fight, even if you have the same numbers. Keshiks have now arrived, though. That should reset him. They need to stick on top of targets, though. You can see the count just a little bit too high. The Keshiks are suffering. Archers may be able to assist this. Still expensive losses. Killjoy, all of a sudden, down to just 12 military. This is insane. This is the problem with this Civ. Like, the absurdity that Zhuge could even do this for a second. Let alone for this long. And remember, you know, at the end of the day, he's got food, he's got wood. He can just now spam spears with Zhuge for a while. Oh, this is brutal. I can't with this Civ. Let's be totally real. Like, is there any other Civ that would have been okay in that situation? Like, if we're being honest, hand on heart, if an English player was in that position, could they have recovered that the same way? I'm not convinced they could have. Even with the attack speed aura, right? Like, 20% attack speed aura compared to Zhuge bolt attacks, right? I just don't see it. Now, you could argue Killjoy maybe should have been on Keshik sooner. But even then, the problem with going Keshiks is if you don't shrink the Zhuge count, you lose the Keshiks. This is the absurdity of Zhuge. If this was mass archers, Keshiks would feel a little bit better because the ranged armor, right? Like, you'd be reducing the damage you take from each 1 to 2. In this situation, you're taking 3 damage from each Zhuge. So it's 50% more damage output for the same price. That's the absurdity of Zhuge. Alright, I've said Zhuge too many times. This is enough Zhuge games for a week. Mountain Academy now on the way. Oh, freaking love TC. I can't. I just can't. Oh. Alright, Killjoy. I think we officially have a problem. He has at least started trading, but it's only in its infancy. He has 3 traders total. The Choo-Choo Genu, for sure. No brakes on this train. Veterancy coming in. Killjoy, he needs to force the fight. You just can't get it quick enough here, right? Gold, wood on the backside is now access. This is not going to slow down. He needs to idle the farms. The only way this now works for Killjoy is if he halts all food gathering. Villagers, still no textiles. The brutality of this man knows there's no limits. Keshik's now moving in, but wasting a lot of time on the eco and on the spearman. Needs to get on top of the Zhuge mass. Okay, this isn't too bad. Being in range now, but the problem is it's veteran Zhuge. So all of a sudden, they're doing 6 damage each to a Keshik. I don't think he breaks him here. Counts down to what, 4? More are at least trickling in. 18 Zhuge have been queued up though. This is out of control. This unit is vicious. He is starting to idle the food out a little bit though, right? Like, this is the stage that I was a little bit worried about for Crackedy. Is the farms are being camped. If Killjoy can find a way to stabilize here and sit on these, it's over. But unfortunately, he has to back away. And now you're playing from a disadvantage. You have got a notable eco lead, but you need to get teched up ASAP. Army count is not scary at this stage. He needs to back up fast, he needs to get Kurultai, and then he needs to recommit before this second TC can get Crackedy fully back in the game. We interrupt this Age of Empires 4 broadcast to remind you guys that you're not alone out there. The world is big and it can be scary, but you can seek help too. Be sure to dial the Zhuge helpline today if you have been deeply scarred or offended by what you saw here. We'd also like to remind everyone viewing this that all participants are paid actors and no one was directly injured in the filming of this content. Although someone may have broken a keyboard in the process. You can guess which person. Crackedy, only a 10 eco lead now for Killjardy. And remember, a lot of that is trading as well, so it's more vulnerable. Killjardy needs that tech up ASAP though. He's just doubling down on Keshik's. Does this really work better? He has got the Whistling Arrows coming in, actually. That's pretty sick. Whistling Arrows could be big here, but I wonder if you use it for maneuver speed instead of for the attack speed, right? Because like you don't have that many archers. Keshik's going in, though. Yes! Stick it to him! Take out those Shigenu! Beat their asses into the ground! Show them who the daddy... Who's the daddy? DNA test is in. Crackedy's the daddy. This is the problem. He lost so many Keshiks there. That's too expensive an army. He's finally queuing up horsemen, but I think it's too little too late for that. The Chuganu count has now stabilized over 40. This is not going to slow down. Oh. These are the type of games you lose. And then immediately pull out a razor, shave your head bald while screaming. And wait, what was that? You think the men-at-arms are going to be chased this down? I mean, if you can get enough of them, sure, but the problem now is you'd be trickling into Chuganu. That's the issue. There's just no way, right? Like, you're trickling troops at this stage. I get why Killjardy tried to reset there, but I think actually he needed to prioritize more archers and Kurultai. Keshik's dead again. Truly are the Kekiks in this game, and this is over. I mean, the archers, the count doesn't even hold a candle to Crackedy anymore. Wow, what a deep, elegant, and innovative civ. So many different units built across the course of this game by Crackedy. You know, he had to go on the archery range and then press the R key, and then he had to go on the other archery range and then press the R key, and then the other archery range and had to press the R